Half a day Flosstube. This is Lynette at Homesteading on the Home Front, coming to you for my third Flosstube video. It is Wednesday, October 18th, 2017. And I wanted to be out there today filming. But as you can see, we have torrential downpours. It is the rainy season here in Guam, and I think I mentioned in my last video that we had a bit of sunshine, and I think that was the last bit of nice weather that we've had for the whole week. This tree right here is an avocado tree. So we've been very blessed to enjoy local avocados, which are soft and creamy and scrumptious and delicious. And unfortunately, the season is over and done with. And then way over here, you can see the edge of our banana grove. So we do have some bananas growing, and we get to enjoy fresh bananas. They actually don't look at all like the bananas that everyone buys in the grocery store. They're smaller, and they grow, all bananas grow in these big clumps, not the little bunches that you see in the store. So anyway, a beautiful rainy day here in Guam. I hope it's better weather where you are. I wanted to explain the whole half a day greeting. My daughter yelled at me after the first video, and she said, "Mom, they don't know what half a day means." So you all know that Hawaii has aloha, and half a day is the Chamorro equivalent. So it's just the local greeting. Unlike aloha, it is not also used to say goodbye. But half a day is our greeting. So I thought that would be a great way to start my videos. I wanted to begin by showing you some special pieces. I mentioned in my first video that we have some cross-stitch pieces that came here accidentally. I didn't mean to bring them, but I'm glad that they did get packed accidentally in the shipment to come here rather than the shipment to go to storage, because they've really they've made it feel like home, having some special pieces on the walls. And this first one that I'm going to show you is a cross-eyed cricket. It is number 19, and it is called Coverlet Sampler. This was stitched in 1989 by my husband's grandmother. And I don't know what it's stitched on. I don't know if it'll focus and let you see, but it's definitely like an even weave. It's not an Aida, it's not a linen, it's almost kind of burlappy. So I'm wondering if it's just whatever it was called for in the pattern. If you are interested, I have seen this on eBay. It does come up frequently, and it's just a beautiful piece. Like I said, Grandma stitched it in 87. I think I said 89. She stitched it in 87, and Grandpa made this frame. Grandpa was a Seabee in World War II and also the Korean War. So our Navy roots run deep, and he made the frame and he tied the knots. And so Grandma was adamant that she wanted us to have this piece because my husband is in the Navy. And so it hangs on the wall in place of honor wherever we live. And like I said, I didn't want to take it. I wanted to leave it safely, but I'm glad it came with us. Another piece that Grandma stitched is very special to me because prior to me meeting her, she had had a stroke, and so she was no longer able to cross stitch. She just had walls and walls and walls. She was an avid cross stitcher. And so when I went to visit, she had this piece half done. She was in the middle of working on it when she had her stroke. It is also, it's a cricket collection. This one is number 40. It's called The Lion and the Lamb. And so I actually finished stitching it. So this piece was stitched by the both of us, and I need to frame it. Haven't done anything with it. It was in 05 that I finished it. I don't know when she started working on it. but that's another special piece that I need to do something with. This one, I just looked on eBay and I couldn't find it, but I did see there was one seller on Etsy selling the pattern for $4. So if you're interested, go snap it up. And I am happy to report that I have some of my own FFOs this week. I've been busy stitching Christmas ornaments. The first one I think I showed you in the last video that I wanted to do, it was this snowman right here. And as of this morning, he is an FFO. Now I didn't do anything fancy because I don't have a lot of stuff here. Trims especially, like I was stuck with the twine because I don't have a lot of trims. But basically it's flat finish. There's wool on the back, and I guess you can, I didn't even notice this line here, but like I said, it's not perfect. But I think against the green of the Christmas tree, he will look charming, and he's certainly as good as it gets for me. I'm very happy with the way he turned out. I do have to say, if I was going to stitch this one over again, I might splurge for the specialty threads. I'm a big DMC stitcher because I have tons and tons of DMC, but there's just a lot of maroon and a lot of orange here, and I think that this would be a great pattern done in some variegated hand-dyed stuff. But he was fun to stitch. The second one comes from this packet that I found at the thrift store last week, and I told you I wanted to do Mrs. Claus. Here she is right here. I just loved her, and so she was a very quick stitch. In fact, it took me longer to finish her than it took me to stitch her. But here she is. She is on Ada, nothing fancy. The colors were very bright, so I took her for a nice little quick dip in walnut dye after I finished her, and that was scary for me. This is the first time I've ever dyed a piece after I've stitched. But can you see that? I don't know if it's focusing. She's just adorable. And so what I did is I took some wool, because I have a lot of wool, and I cut this out with my Cricut. No, not Cricut. What's it called? The little windy thing. Scrapbooking tool. Cuttlebug. I cut it out with my Cuttlebug, and I blanket stitched her on, and it was kind of a ghetto finish in the back, so I just put some more wool over the back, and then I just added the baker's twine, because like I said, I don't have a lot of fancy stuff for ornament making, but I did have that in my stash. So speaking of which, if any of you have a good online source for like the little mini pom-poms or the braids, I don't even know what the correct term is called, you know, that go along the ornaments, please let me know, because like I said, there's not much to choose from here, and I've got a lot of Christmas ornaments that I want to finish up. So if there's a good online source for trims, that's the word, then let me know, please. And my last FFO, I showed you her last week. This is Queen of Harvest by Brenda Gervais. And I didn't do much with her. I just mounted her and framed her, and I took the glass out so there would be no glare. But I knew she would fit perfectly in an 8x10 frame when I made her, and so that made me happy. This frame is a little too ornate for my taste, so I think when we get back to the States and or the mainland, and I have more frames to choose from, then I will definitely choose a different frame for her. But I have some frames in my stash that I brought with me, and so that's kind of what I'm limited to, because frames are very, very expensive here because they're heavy to ship, I guess. It's just going to have to do until I have more options. But I'm excited to have a fall piece to display because I haven't had much fall going on here. And I also showed you the Primitive Mood Keep last week. I was finishing up that one, and I have finished stitching. So we have today a Pox Upon Thee, and today Blessings to Thee. I love this piece. I still haven't decided how I'm gonna finish it. But now that I did just get in yesterday my shipment, and I think in my last video I said it was a Joanne order. It wasn't. It was from Amazon. I got mounting boards and foam boards and the little stitcher's gun. So I'm hoping to be able to do more now that that has arrived. And so I finished the ornaments, stitching the ornaments. I finished the Primitive Mood Keep, and I wanted to go more fall than ornaments because I knew I had more time to stitch Christmas ornaments than I did to stitch Thanksgiving or fall things. So I went with this free chart. It's from Beth Twist. I'm sorry, at Home Heartstring Samplery, and I will I will put the link to this below. But basically what I did is I loved the colors so much from the Primitive Mood Keep that I just kept them, and I added a couple to it and made myself a little collection of fall colors, and decided to use those same colors for this piece. So hopefully this will be done today or tomorrow. It's very, very quick and easy, but I'm loving the colors so far. Plans. I have some ornaments that I want to get to. I've got them kitted up. I thought I had them here, but yes, I do, right here. The next one that I'm going to work on is this A Savior Has Been Born by My Big Toe Designs. I don't know that I hope you can see it more clearly than that, but it's from the new 2017 Just Cross Stitch Ornaments. And it's going to be quick and easy, and hopefully something that I can finish. And I might, when I mount this up, I was just watching Cindy's cross stitch, and she had a video where she made a hanger out of buttons, and so I'm very excited to try that because I do have buttons here. So thank you, Cindy. Your videos are so inspiring, especially for me as I'm starting to concentrate on Christmas ornaments. So thanks for sharing your talents with us. I also got this Just Cross Stitch off of eBay. It is from December 1989. I believe I was a sophomore or junior in high school when this came out. But I was looking through it, and there wasn't a ton that I loved. But these poinsettias caught my eye right there. And so I think I'm going to stitch one of them as a Christmas ornament because they're absolutely beautiful in person. And I don't know if you can see the Santa Claus. The way his beard is stitched, he just looks really mad. Can you see that? So anyway, I won't be stitching Santa Claus. Another project that I really liked in this book, and I don't know why I like it, it's not really my style, but the lamppost here. It mentions the illumination in Williamsburg, and I love Williamsburg, so maybe that tugged at my heartstrings. Old Sturbridge Village will always be my favorite place on earth because I am Central Mass grown. And the gardens at Monticello will always be my second favorite place on earth. But Williamsburg is up there. If you haven't visited and are in the area, then definitely check it out. So, not a lot other than the Christmas sampler that I showed you. I have some other ornaments. I'm waiting to get fabric from 123 Stitch. It's on its way. I've already ordered it, but I am going to make the some of the chalkboard Christmas ornaments, and I've never stitched on dark fabric before, so we'll see how that goes. But if that order comes in, then hopefully I'll get to start on that. Like I mentioned in my last video, Friday and Saturday I have a crafters retreat, so I'm going to be sewing. I did get my clear vinyl in so that I can work on some see-through project bags. I'm just waiting for some stitcher's tape so that I can keep that in place while I'm sewing it. So I hope to have some of those done for the next video to show you how those came out. I'm going to be stamping because I am all out of sympathy cards and I need some more of those. And of course I'm going to be cross stitching, working on some ornaments, and I may even dig out some of my older whips, the two that I showed you in the first video, the Nantucket Girl Sampler or Miss Baxter. I would really like to finish those up. I so far have resisted the peer pressure of Flosstube, and those are going to be my two whips, and I'm not going to start any other larger designs. My Christmas ornaments and the little fall freebies that I'm stitching up, those are quick and those are easy, and those are what's calling to me right now. But I'm not going to start any other larger projects until at least one of those other whips is done, because I don't like having them hanging over my head, and I love them, so I want to see them done. So I think that's it. Hopefully next time the weather will cooperate and I can take you somewhere interesting and show you all the beautiful scenery here on Guam. But until we meet again, I wish you fair winds and following seas.